And perhaps, just perhaps, the best act is yet to come, as long as you are willing to leave the audience and take center stage. Close your eyes and imagine the marquee lit up with your name taking center stage. The projector creaks. The beam of light cuts through the dark room and you appear, a child discovering the world with eyes of wonder. Fast forward a few frames. The teenager full of theories, the young adult balancing between bold dreams and contradictory advice, the adult rushing, sometimes not even knowing where to go. Sudden cut, fade in, the present. This is where the viewer wonders if the protagonist is proud of the script they have been improvising. Do today's scenes honor the values you defend, or do they simply repeat soundtracks chosen by others in the comfortable playlist of the normal, the safe, the same as it has always been? The good news is that your film is live. Every thump of your heart in your chest is an unprecedented take, ready to be filmed. The initial chapters are recorded, it's true. They may display uncertainties, falls, uncomfortable pauses, even moments you would prefer to cut from memory's editing suite. Still, nothing prevents the final credits from being epic. Every great turnaround is born from an act of courage, taking on the role of a conscious protagonist. It's not about never failing, but about failing in high definition with intention, presence, and learning. It's about not waiting for the scenery to change and deciding instead to redesign the set from within, changing the lighting, costumes, and even the cast, if necessary. Doing this requires more than bravery. It demands the audacity to revise the script, identify hollow dialogues, and erase them without remorse. It means distancing from supporting actors who drain energy, inviting co-stars who add value, diverging when necessary to enrich the plot. It is admitting continuity errors, those inconsistencies between what you say you want and what you actually do, and having the humility to film again as many times as necessary until the narrative breathes truth. Here many people hit the pause button. After all, rewriting is hard work. It strains underused emotional muscles, exposing grey areas we prefer to hide under soft filters. However, ask yourself plainly, what hurts more, the pain of change or the pain of watching, helpless, the rerun of a life that excites no one? The fear of failure is human, but the regret of never trying steals sleep and slowly dims the light in your eyes. Herein lies the paradox. The only definitive failure is living a plot that doesn't belong to you. Observe your routine as someone analyzing a storyboard. Each dawn opens a long take. Each choice, no matter how small, triggers a decisive camera movement. When you choose to wake up 10 minutes earlier to meditate, you change the rhythm of the soundtrack. When you genuinely compliment someone, you inject color into the scene's palette. When you postpone a dream for when it's convenient, that course, that trip, that book, an opportunity for climax gets stuck in the drawer. Ask yourself, are you performing with stage presence or merely reciting memorized lines? Are you collecting breathtaking memories or just counting seconds until the next Monday? Are you investing in your own evolution or anesthetizing your restlessness with automatic distractions? If your movie had a trailer shown today, what images would you want to appear? Perhaps the renunciation of a career that no longer resonates, the courageous signature on the enrollment of a course that seemed distant, the departure towards an unknown city with a suitcase full of good anxieties, perhaps the decisive cut of a toxic relationship, making way for partnerships that uplift. All of this fits into the script. But none of these scenes will fall from the sky. They ask for your permission to be filmed now, not someday. Also, think about the audience that will fill the room. Your film is intimate, but it does not happen in a bubble. It inspires or demotivates, it uplifts or drags down. When someone watches your story, will they feel their heart race, their mind ignite, their soul take flight? Or will they leave with the uncomfortable impression that something grand was always on the verge of happening, without ever materializing? Remember, even the silence of your example echoes. A life lived authentically becomes a beacon. A facade existence becomes an opaque mirror. You may wonder if it is already too late for plot twists. How many years of the film are still left? The answer matters less than the intensity of the upcoming minutes. There are protagonists who, in the last moments, lead turnaround so profound that they leave the audience breathless. Act then like a fearless director. If a scene no longer serves, cut it. If a chapter has ended, turn the page without fear of blank sheets. And how to start? First, clarify the plot. Write in a notebook what truly matters: values, dreams, limits. Second, translate these ideals into small daily actions. The great transformation is a sequence of accumulated microclimaxes. Third, create accountability. Share your goals with someone who cheers for you, or record progress in a journal that serves as a motivating making of. Finally, celebrate every successful take. Joy is fuel for long narratives. Do not be intimidated by critics who prefer predictable reruns. Every bold story causes discomfort in those who still fear the unusual. Keep filming with your heart, adjusting your inner cameras until the light reveals your true shine. If stumbles come, and they will, treat them as plot devices, hooks that make the climax tastier. Genuine heroes are not those who never fall, but those who rise, shake off the dust, and move forward with scars turned into medals of authenticity. On the day the credits roll, may the final score blend notes of gratitude and a sense of duty fulfilled. May those who stay until the last chord leave the session wishing to live more truthfully. And may you, seated in the armchair of your own consciousness, not need alternative endings. You will know that every frame was yours, wholly yours, and that assuming the lead role was the greatest act of love you could offer yourself and the world. And perhaps the most beautiful thing of all is this: it does not matter where the film started or how many scenes you would like to erase. What matters is what you will do now with what you have. Because sometimes the best movies are precisely those that surprise in the third act, when everything seemed lost, but the main character finally chooses to rise. So, ask the question again, sincerely. If your life were a movie, would you watch it to the end? And if the answer is no, perhaps it is time to change the script. Not tomorrow, not when everything is perfect, but today, here, now. Because the most important story you will live is yours, and it deserves to be epic. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine the atmosphere of a silent cinema, the lights dimming, the unmistakable smell of popcorn in the air. The screen lights up. In large letters, the title appears: Your Name. This is not just any movie, it is your life, and it is about to be shown before an attentive audience. The first few minutes bring forgotten scenes to light. The carefree childhood, spontaneous smiles, innocent stumbles, the first dreams. Then adolescence arrives with its doubts, fears, and discoveries. Adulthood then imposes itself with its responsibilities, its achievements, its falls. And as the plot unfolds, an inevitable question forms within you. Would I really watch this movie until the end? This is not a rhetorical question. It is a brutal mirror. It reveals the truth that we so often avoid facing: how much we are actually living and not just existing. If your story were broadcast to the world, would it have intensity, emotion, twists and turns? Or would it merely be a shallow, predictable, repetitive script where the protagonist walks in circles and barely transforms? Many people live as if they have a pause button on time. They postpone what they love, they tolerate what hurts, they swallow what suffocates. They trade authenticity for the approval of others. They maintain relationships out of fear of loneliness, stay in jobs out of fear of scarcity, embrace routines out of fear of change. Deep down, they are just surviving, passive spectators of their own journeys. And when they realize it, Several acts of the movie have passed and almost nothing truly significant has happened. But think, what makes a movie unforgettable? It is not the perfect scenes, constant smiles, or predictable endings. It is the battles fought, the mistakes made, the moments of doubt followed by courage. It is the breakouts from the comfort zone, the unexpected encounters, the shocks that force growth. It is the protagonists who strip off their masks, who face their inner monsters and reinvent themselves. Because it is these stories that touch us, those that mirror the raw and beautiful truth of the human condition. The great mistake is thinking that a good life is a life without pain. But a powerful script requires conflict. It demands transformation. And every transformation starts with a choice, to continue being an extra in one's own life or to finally assume the lead role. If your life were a movie, would you watch it with pride? Or would you close your eyes during the parts where you ran away, gave up, or sabotaged yourself? There is still time to change the script. There are still scenes to be written,